It is a beautiful morning here in Indiana. Give you a quick little look at the 7.3 here since it's already out. Gonna be in here working on the 2nd gen again. I've been asked so many times on my wheels and tires, hey, what wheels and tires do you have? What's the size? And I've made a video on it, but I guess a lot of people just either haven't watched it or don't want to watch it. So anyways, they are 295 70R17 tires, Mastercraft MXTs. Of course they're MXTs, and they are 17x9 fuel hostage rims with a -12 offset. I get asked all the time. I get asked tons of questions on the truck, even when I make, I put 4 hours into making a video, then instead of watching the video, people just ask me and say, oh, well, I don't want to watch the video because it's too long. So if you guys don't want to watch the content that I spend hours and hours in creating, then don't ask questions if you don't really want to know what's going on with the build, because I do try to put all my energy into that, my heart and soul into this kind of stuff to try to, do the best that I can. I'm trying to get better as I go, but I'm still learning at the same time, so I'm just trying to do my best. But if you guys really want to know what's going on, continue to watch the videos. Fingers crossed, hopefully it all goes well. I had a bunch of people respond, a lot of very helpful information and tips. So I want to say thank you so much, everybody who was engaged down there last night, and you helped me out a ton, and I really do appreciate that. So I'm going to be able to hopefully get on with this project here. Well guys, this just keeps getting better and better. Not really. I've tried using the 2-nut system. It was not working, not moving. Whether I tried turning it right or left, it was not going anywhere. I tried heating it up with a torch for a couple of minutes straight, holding it on there until I could get it very hot, and then tried to remove it left or right. It would not go anywhere. Tried using a wrench with a breaker bar. I've tried using a socket with a breaker bar. I've tried using, a hammer to try to tap it. Maybe some, I don't know, just random jolts of force might have broke it loose. That wasn't working. Just such a minor setback. Like, I had everything done down to, the last steps, and of course there's got to be some kind of issue to completely stall the entire process, which sucks because I'm so close to being done with this project. All I got to do is get that off, put on a couple new seals, put that in, clean some stuff up, put it all back, and of course right now that's got to be a problem. I hope I can get this figured out. Well, everybody, it came to this. I didn't want it to be that way, but I was not getting that bolt out, or stud, whatever you want to call it, with anything. I had used, like I said, I used everything. A heat, double nut. I did everything except for welding nuts to it to try to twist it out, because I don't have welding material. So I'll just have to figure it out, just make a run to the store, get some hardware at the end of the day when we figure out what all has actually happened and taken place and we know what we need. That's probably what I'm gonna have to do. Really sucks because it's just frustrating when it's just 2 little bolts holding back the entire project and making it hours upon hours and upon hours longer than it needs to be. That is just, those of you who are full-time mechanics, you guys are legit, because I could not do this like every single day doing this kind of stuff, like little tedious crap like this up against motors and engine blocks and stuff like that. that is just, especially when you're working in tight spaces, you don't have a lot of options. It's just freaking so frustrating. So you guys who do that, that is, man, I don't know how you guys do it, because some of this stuff is just so freaking, it's a pain in the butt. Good job to you guys who can actually put up with this kind of crap. But anyways, I'm gonna try to get forward with this and see where we can go. Guys, here's what I did. I grinded off that bolt, not the bolt, but the, like the end of the bolt, I guess you could say, so I could get really right up close to the threads on the head. And then I took this 3/8 and I hammered this bit. I absolutely hammered that thing to make it jam and fit onto that thing, because I don't think it's a 3/8 head originally, but it's been grinded down a little bit working on it. So I freaking jammed that thing in there. It's stuck on there freaking bad right now, but I got it in there. But this thing just had barely enough room, and this is a really small impact, barely enough room to get down in there, kind of slid it on there, and then just hit the trigger a couple times, and that thing came out. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm so glad that you guys are actually watching these videos through, because man, this stuff can get so discouraging sometimes and just frustrating. Like I said, those of you who are mechanics full time and you know what you're doing and you guys can put up with this kind of stuff, I applaud you guys. You guys are the real deal, because I could not be working on somebody else's trucks every single day, or cars, or whatever it may be, doing this kind of stuff. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. So now we can probably finally get on with this project. So thank you so much. Let's see what we can go with here. Well, everybody, just to top it all off, I got this all taken apart. All these parts, the whole front end of my truck looks like crap right now. I got parts laying on top of the motor, stuff ripped out everywhere. And I go here to take a peek and see where my pin is, and what do you know? Somebody already put a tab on it. Am I frustrated that it's already been done? No. I'm glad that somebody else took the time to do it themselves and, you know, took the preventable maintenance steps to make sure that it didn't fall out. However, it does suck a little bit that I just went through 2 days of taking apart the front end, you know what I mean, like the, you know, all the stuff and all that, you know what I'm talking about, but, and it's already been done. It was for the most part a waste, it seems like, but I guess I'm still gonna put on my own tab just because it's not homemade. But other than that, somebody else had already done the job, so I guess we're gonna get this all thrown back together in a bit here. Call it a day. Take a quick little break here and let you know what I'm doing right now. Okay, so you know how I had to take out those bolts and whatnot and they were broken? Let me show you those right here. Okay, so basically, this is the piece, right? Came out and I had to grind it off to be able to back it out, right? All basically what it is, I guess you could say acting as a nut welded on there, right? So what I'm gonna do, I had to run to the store, grab a few things. I got just a threaded, like a bolt that's the same length, same diameter, same threading and everything. But what I'm gonna do is basically just hand tighten this in until it stops completely, and then just thread this nut up to where it's going to be the same length as this one. Actually, I'm probably going to just, while I have it out, thread this nut up until it's just as far as that one, then thread this in, and then basically just leave the rest of it sticking out. Is going to work just as the other one did, basically. I'm still going to be able to slide everything on. It's the same dimensions, not, you know, hurting anything. And basically I have another one here, and going to do the same thing with that one, but I'm going to have a little lock washer on there just to make sure, and a very, very small washer that is no bigger than basically this one here, but this one obviously isn't just a normal nut. This is just like a washer, I guess you could say, a really thick washer that's just welded to the nut. It's like I think it's a flange nut, basically, is what it's kind of like, but it's welded on there. So I'm gonna get that, just so you guys have a heads up. That's what I'm gonna do. I also, when I was at the store, I picked up some red Loctite. Everybody says, you know, stressing that you need to use this stuff, and so I'm gonna for sure do that. I'm gonna take out the, you know, KDP tab that I just did because I didn't realize that I needed this. So I figured before I assemble everything, and then I have a bolt rattle off into my, you know, gear case because I didn't use this stuff, my timing case, I'm going to take that bolt really quick back out while it's not all reassembled, put some of this stuff on there, then thread it back in so I don't have to mess with that area ever again. Without any further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to get to this. I'm probably going to time lapse all the rest of this installation that I can and just get it done with. If you have any questions though on what I did, just leave them down in the comments. I'll try to answer everything, you know, the best I can for the questions that need some attention to being answered. So let's get to it. Let's see if we can get this done. Guys, never been so excited to say the project is done. Not the whole truck, but the obviously just, you know, the project that I was working on here. Checking on the KDP, making sure it was taken care of properly, and it was done. I'll show you a little guy. I kind of showed you already, but let me show you again. This little thing was jammed in there, working as the tab for the KDP. We took care of that. Got the, you know, the right one in there. Not that it really matters. A tab is a tab as long as it holds the pen in. But put in the other one just because I had already bought it. It's more uniform. Just put it in there. Got the belt put on right. All you have to do is, you know, follow this little guide. You can get your I have a breaker bar right there with a little 1/2" drive on the end of it, and that little square piece fits right inside this little hole down there. And basically, you can just torque it, you know, this direction, and it'll, you know, loosen up, give it slack in that pulley so that you can get the belt all lined up and relieve it, and then it'll go back and make everything super tight. So everything's good, working as it should. Everything's lined up perfect. I double checked, triple checked the belt, make sure everything was lined up the correct way. Everything looks fantastic, on the money. Batteries all hooked back up, everything's good. Fluids hooked back up, sensor underneath the fluid that connected into the bottom of this side. And for this one, all I did was disconnect this hose and then zip tied it closed, and then I took the whole, you know, fan guard thing out of their shroud out of there on one piece. Everything's clipped back on. All the bolts are tightened up properly. I've got you can stack about probably 2 credit cards up, and you know, the harmonic balancer, there's that little like magnetic piece with some wires going to it that goes right over top of that. You can fit about 2 credit cards under there, so that's just about perfect. Seals are back on, gaskets on the, you know, timing cover. I put thread lock, red thread lock on the 2 studs that I made myself to put in there. Everything's snugged up perfect, sealed all the way around. I put thread lock in the bolt that was going into, you know, holding the tab for the KDP. I made sure that one was tight, because if that one falls out and you don't spend the money and put thread lock on there, then if that one falls out, it's just as bad as your, you know, KDP falling out. I mean, or even worse, it's a bigger piece of metal that could slowly rotate out of there and cause some very, very, very bad problems to your engine, of course. Completely destroy it. So everything's tightened up, everything looks good. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to start up the truck right now or not. I'm thinking I might let that thread lock sit overnight until morning, just to make sure everything's, you know, solid up, doing its job, before I go and start it up. And then since it's still loose, you know, I'm not saying it would, but you never know if a bolt could slowly rotate out because it's not, you know, dried up and everything's, you know, locked in good. So man, I'm glad to say that it's done. Everything's done. This is all put back together good. It's good to go. So maybe tomorrow we will, after it sits all night, come back out here, just double check everything that I can think of. In the comments below tonight, let me know if you think there was anything that I might have missed. I'm not going to disassemble the entire thing unless it's like a absolutely crazy mandatory thing. I'm pretty sure I got everything taken care of. Tab, I did thread lock on a bunch of stuff, Loctite, gaskets on, harmonic balancer, there's like a little seal around there, that was on good. I used that measurement tool there to make sure it was all squared up properly. I think it's pretty good. I think I'm good. So thank you guys so much for freaking watching this video again. I was not expecting this to be, well, you never really expect anything to take longer than you would think it should take, but I wasn't expecting this to take 2 full days, and it is about 7 o'clock and I just wrapped up, because I really do appreciate all you guys watching. It really does mean a lot to me. It's like a dream come true. I'm very, very thankful for it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button. It really helps out incredibly. Please leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Doing what I love, going day to day, but I know it takes time and I'm patiently waiting. Sometimes I contemplate, cause one day you feel so close and the next is out of sight. But I know I gotta hold on tight to go back to just going out every night. Like if I'm about to let it go now, I can live alright, live a normal life, doing 9 to 5. But I know I'm more than that. I gained this skill, wasn't born with that. At the end of the life, it's a memory.